A devastating fire is currently sweeping through a building in Aqua, specifically at Douche Municipal, engulfing several businesses and leaving the local population in distress. The blaze, which started this afternoon, is believed to have originated from a shop owned by Chinese national where welding work was being carried out. Goods worth millions of francs CFA have so far been destroyed. Away from that, to tell you how common law lawyers plan to take to the streets to protest over the presidential decree introducing appointed notary publics in the northwest and southwest regions. They view the move as a direct affront to the principles of common law, describing it as immoral and a breach of legal tradition. The lawyers are calling on the president to reconsider and revise the decree, which they believe undermines the region's legal heritage. Those are top stories tonight. The news in full in a jiffy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for staying with us on this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast. For presentation, I am Immaculate Fogwe. We begin with this sad incident. A devastating fire ravaged several shops at Douche Municipal earlier today, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The blaze, which started at a Chinese-owned shop, quickly spread to nearby stalls, engulfing at least 5 businesses. While there were no reported injuries, the material damage was substantial. We'll be getting images from our technical room right now, and the traffic in the area was severely disrupted. We'll be bringing you details on this fire incident in our subsequent news editions. Away from that, we'll now take you to the southwest region, where CDC General Manager known as Franklin Guninje has condemned the destruction of CDC semi-permanent buildings in Ombe carried out by an individual claiming to have received authorization from the Minister of State Property and Land Tenure. Jay expressed dismay over the fact that land grabbers are challenging the law. We have details with our Limbe-based correspondent, David Sudmairu.
We are told that hired thugs, allegedly by land grabbers, invaded the CDC property at Ombe in Tiko subdivision, Fakot division of the southwest region, removing roofs and destroying 11 blocks of semi-permanent buildings, forcing the occupant to leave their homes and sparking outrage and concern about the rule of law.
The beneficiary of the property adjacent here is Mayville village. And the chief of that village is Chief Ndiko Fonderson. So it is purported that he is the one, because he had expressed interest to extend his occupation in this area.
The incident brought out the CDC General Manager Franklin Guninje and some top management staff to the side.
Well, what we have here is some semi-permanent buildings. As you see, the roofs were taken off. And I decided to come and see, because there's a background to all of this that is happening here.
The CDC General Manager says the parcel of land remains CDC property and has never been ceded.
We have a clear-cut judgment as to who owns the property. But we find ourselves in front of a situation where it seems like all of that, which is supposed to have weight in a state of law, seems to have no weight. And it's about how potent some individual is.
It is on record that after almost all the land in the area was ceded to some villages, there was a need to carve out a portion for the construction of security structures to provide security in the entire area and protect state institutions within, especially considering that Mutengene lacks a police station or a gendarmerie brigade.
There was a proposal for surrender to the gendarmerie, right? But seemingly pulling of strings, individuals seem to push their individual interests at the expense of what should be for common good.
The incident has once again brought to light the level of personal greed above state interest and the undermining of the rule of law.
Individuals, no matter how strong they may be, would challenge the state of law. It is a cause for concern.
It is a concern that land grabbers are willing to go to such extents to acquire land despite its intended use for public benefit.
And we stay in the southwest region, where common law lawyers in the northwest and that part of the country have expressed strong dissatisfaction over a presidential decree introducing appointed notary publics in the regions. Many view the law as an affront to the principles of common law, calling it immoral and a breach of a legal tradition. They are urging the president to reconsider and revise the decree. Rex Afon, our southwest correspondent, tells us more.
Common law lawyers in Cameroon's northwest and southwest regions are once more angry. This decree signed by President Paul Biya on July 16th this year is the reason for the disgruntlement.
If you look at sub 2 of that section 1116 sub 2, it states that they shall cease the practice upon the appointment of notaries in the southwest and northwest region.
The appointment of notaries by the state, the lawyers say, will have serious repercussions on them and their clients.
This is a very dicey situation. Why? Because lawyers in the northwest and southwest are trained to be barristers, solicitors, and notaries. To come and remove the notary part of their training, you are depriving somebody of what he or she studied to perform as a function. We have 1,400 lawyers in the southwest and northwest regions who are trained to perform that function. At no time will the state appoint 1,400 notaries, which means you are depriving 1,400 people of their job. That law is not only immoral, it is vexatious, it is not people-oriented.
They have all demanded that that particular article of the decree be revised.
Lawyers are not happy. Lawyers are saying that they shall try to resist this law.
We are calling on the head of state to look and consider revising or revisiting this particular section 116 of this decree.
In 2016, it took street protests for the lawyers to obtain a translated version of the Ohada law. The legal minds wish the government asks now why tempers are still tameable.
And while we come over right here in the Littoral region, where residents of Douala are lamenting the deplorable state of roads, which is severely impacting economic activities. Navigation between neighborhoods has become increasingly difficult, particularly in the Douala 2 and 3 subdivisions. According to our reporter Malaklari, the rains have exacerbated the already poor road conditions, turning potholes into mini lakes and further complicating daily life for commuters and businesses alike. Malaklari tells us more.
Douala prides itself as the center of excellence with its economic value, yet can't boast of good roads. In the Denia Poto neighborhood, Douala 2, for example, precisely at the main junction, potholes visible on the road transform into mini lakes whenever it rains. To avoid traffic at the Ndokoti roundabout, vehicle owners pass through this stretch, thus increasing the potholes. The road, which has become a death trap, is gradually affecting economic activities, and this man is a victim. We don't even have roads in this country. We have been here since 7 a.m. struggling to see that the bus can be taken out of this hole, and passengers are waiting for me. You know it's holiday. Both cars and bikes make accidents in this hole every day. Seriously, all is not well in this country. About 300 meters away from there is the stretch leading to Rond-Point Saint-Michel. The road is completely damaged with very large potholes, making it difficult flying through. Road users say it's over 3 months that they have been suffering on this stretch, risking accidents. I am not alone. Many of us run this risk every day, and this is the only route we can take. And elsewhere in the Douala 3 subdivision, the road from the Kote to the industrial zone is in a deplorable state. Vehicle owners complain of frequent car damage. My fuel tank just exploded, causing fuel dripping from it. I have to wait for a mechanic. The problem of bad roads in Douala is becoming a great concern. Residents wish the upcoming elections can bring change not only in the city of Douala, but across the country.
And now we talk something else. A violent clash between villagers from Misundo in Atega and Sokapam security guards has ended in tragedy. A young man known as Kum Eme lost his life during the confrontation, and his body has been taken to the Atega hospital morgue. The family is devastated and is demanding justice for his death. Siri Chakutio reports.
Shock, anger and consternation grieved the inhabitants of Misundo village in Atega, a neighborhood in the Nyong and Kele division of the littoral region, after the death of one of theirs in the locality. According to report, the young man was killed after a conflict he had with military men around the Sokapam factory.
It was on our way back from a meeting that we met with a patrol car on the road. That's when my junior brother asked me if they were still arresting people on this road. That's when the patrol leader asked for my brother to be arrested. From there, they took him and threw him into the pickup truck, hit him mercilessly, and he ended up dying.
The inhabitants were angry and stormed the factory demanding justice. The gates of the Sokapam factory were temporarily closed, but this did not stop them. They hit his head, a head that was already scarred because he had an accident not long ago, and they had asked him to be very careful with that injury. We don't have weapons. All we want is our son. Our son didn't do anything to deserve this. Alerted of the situation, the divisional officer of Misundo promised the inhabitants that the perpetrators of this crime will not go unpunished. In the meantime, the top management of the Sokapam factory in a note expressed their condolences to the bereaved family and informed the public that investigations of the matter are ongoing.
And in health, pulmonologists in the country are urging the government to enhance the healthcare system, especially for patients suffering from respiratory diseases. This call comes as Cameroon faces an increase in the prevalence rate of respiratory diseases and a high mortality rate associated with these conditions. However, to reduce the mortality rate, pulmonologists alongside the other specialists met here in Douala. In the course of the workshop, they discussed on strategies in which they could employ in order to reduce high rate of these lung diseases. Details with Sedu Siliengo.
Respiratory diseases such as pneumonia, bronchitis, tuberculosis, asthma, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease (COPD) are the most common chronic respiratory diseases in Cameroon, according to WHO. These conditions contribute to high mortality rates each year.
It's a reality that many of our population are suffering from lung disease, would lead to some breathing problem and respiratory insufficiencies. The reality is that we have a lot of stigma on the use of some of the medication.
Some of these respiratory diseases are caused by a variety of factors, including infections, tobacco use, and environmental factors. Oxygen therapy can be a crucial treatment for respiratory diseases, However, in many sub-Saharan African countries, including Cameroon, access to medical oxygen is limited due to lack of reliable equipment and oxygen sources.
Oxygen machines are indispensable, and we thank for what are available. Improving the quality of care will be a plus. Blood gases is very important for the management of patients in respiratory distress in order to optimize the care with oxygen therapy.
To improve lung function and treatment of lung diseases in the country, a workshop was organized bringing together pulmonologists and other health experts in Douala. This event follows the continuation of activities marking the 11th Congress of French African Pulmonologists.
Dont l'objectif principal est d'optimiser la prise en charge des pathologies respiratoires chez les patients.
Using oxygen is a medication. Every doctor should know that explaining the use of oxygen is already almost 50% of curing pathology of the lungs that lead to respiratory distress. Oxygen should be part of medication.
Pulmonologists emphasize that expanding access to quality healthcare services, including diagnostic and treatment facilities in the country, is essential.
That's it for this first part of the news. Cameroon Today comes up next. Inhabitants of Atega village in the Misundo division of the Central region are crying out for help. Due to the high rate of unemployment, youths have resorted to spending their days in the village drinking locally made wine known as odontol, commonly known in pidgin English as afofo. Many of these youths who are certificate holders claim they need government assistance to improve their situation. Ironically, Atega village has consistently given 100% support to the ruling CPDM party, yet it remains underdeveloped. Smart Jikangable takes us to Atega for us to see the situation on the ground. His report.
For several hours on a rugged road, we finally arrived at Atega. Atega is a village found in Zengsop division. In the village, we met strong and able youth who are consuming odontol. This is the village wine, commonly known as odontol. We have even given it a name, Puak. It is made out of fermented palm wine, sugar, and the final product is what you have. And apart from this, we have no other drink in the village. Odontol is not fit for consumption, but in Atega, it is the most popular drink. Its preparation is unique. A glass of odontol costs 100 francs, but a liter is 1,000 francs CFA. The question of why this unauthorized drink sells more in Atega, it is because the youth are doing nothing as they are unemployed, notwithstanding that majority have degrees. I'm a lab technician who is unemployed and I'm in the village. If the mayor can look for a place to include us like community health agents, it will be good. I'm a qualified unemployed person with certificates who could be employed even in the council as a fish farmer. We pray to God every day if we could be recruited as technician. Apart from youth unemployment, Atega also have problems of inaccessible roads, weak power supply, and difficulty in getting water. Some natives of Atega are in high places. The natives are calling on them to help in the development of the village.
Je parle au nom de tout l'arrondissement de Dieng.
I'm talking on behalf of the people of Zengsop division. We still have hopes, and I expect in that one day things will change. We have a son-in-law like Joseph Anderson Le, whom we are asking if he will let us die. The senator, mayor, we need roads. Just 58 kilometers seems to be a 2-day journey.
À part la route à 58 km, c'est comme si j'allais à Tokombere pour arriver à Mvorumbi.
As they solicit their daughters and sons to help in changing the face of the village, Atega is a die-hard supporter of the ruling CPDM party. Atega has always given 100% vote to the President of the Republic for a long time now, but we have never been recognized by the President. Let the state even think about us too. With their worries already made known, the country is passing through a period in its political landscape. Many are asking if Atega will stop giving its support to the ruling political party. Even though we don't want to be against CPDM, immediately I think that my son or myself will fall ill and die because we don't have the means to rapidly move to Yaoundé. I'm obliged to talk part of CPDM, even as I support them. When they come here with big vehicles, that is not development. We all have those big cars, but I personally have the interests of my people at heart. It's holiday period. While they await the start of the new school year, the esplanade of the government primary school of Atega is now used by others to mold blocks. The school is having 2 teachers recruited by PTA. The only government paid teacher is the head of the school. Since I don't want to remain back at home and go to the farm every day with my little closeness, I saw it better to help my younger ones because there was lack of teachers, and alone I take care of 2 classes, which is not easy, particularly with the younger ones. At GPS Atega, 1 teacher is equal to 2 classes. I don't have trained teachers. I'm the one who train my teachers, who are recruited by the PTA. This implies I teach the kids and my teachers at the same time. Even though the teaching and learning conditions were not the best, this academic year, the results in both public exams were encouraging, proving that in Atega, there exist intelligent people who are suffering from underdevelopment.
The report done by Smart Jikan Gable on the challenges faced by the people of Atega village put a cap to today's edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. Thank you for your keen attention. Stay blessed as you stay tuned to more programs on Equinoxe television. Bye-bye for now.